But outside of the language school is the country, New Zealand.
Yes. So it represents somehow what's happening outside.
Yes. So one of the things that people ask about, what's different about New Zealand, and you can talk about, beautiful scenery, and New Zealand has that. But other countries have beautiful scenery. Other countries have lovely things to see and great activities to do. But talking to a lot of people who've visited New Zealand, who've maybe studied in other countries and studied in New Zealand, most people say one thing is the big difference, and that's the people. That when they come to New Zealand, they realise how society and how people can really be. That they can get on, they can be friendly, they're not fighting, there's not issues or problems, they're helping each other. There's lots of little examples, when you get on the bus, you say hello to the bus driver, and when you get off the bus, you say thank you to the bus driver. Little things like that make people think, oh, New Zealand is different. And that's just one small example of all around New Zealand. That's the way that people are. We're friendly, we're open, we're kind, we're welcoming, and that is what makes the experience for people who come to New Zealand special and different. So it's a very important thing, the people.
Do you think in Australia happen the same, or there are some different things there? Because it's close to here, so a lot of students will be thinking, okay, should I go to Australia or should I go to New Zealand? It's like probably Australia has a bit more like of marketing, like just because it's happening. Because we know, like obviously, you open a magazine, it's like Australia. Probably not so much information still about New Zealand in Spanish, for example.
Of course. I mean, Australia is a much bigger country than New Zealand, and it's more famous than New Zealand. But that's part of the reason for New Zealand's attractiveness. That it's not that famous, it's not that popular, and that's a reason for many people to come. They go, everybody's been to Australia, but not everybody's been to New Zealand, so I want to go there. But I mean, Australia is a friendly country. The people are similar to New Zealand people. Our history, our background, British colony, that kind of thing. But definitely there are differences. And actually, the comment about the people was a comment made to me recently by somebody in Argentina. When I was there last month, who had studied in Australia and New Zealand. And that person said for them, both countries were great, they loved it, but New Zealand was better because the people were that little bit more friendly, that little bit more welcoming, kind, open. So that was the difference for them. But Australia is still great. People have a fantastic time in Australia. So I'm not going to tell people, don't go to Australia, it's terrible. No. If we're playing rugby, that's different. Then Australia is terrible. But as an educational destination, I think it's a very good destination. But I just think New Zealand's better. That's okay. My opinion.
Another question.
Sure.
So let's say I don't speak English. I decided to go to New Zealand.
Yes.
How much time do you recommend me to book a course, to study hours a day, like to start to speak?
Sure.
Because there are a lot of cases when people just afraid to travel and to study English because they don't speak English. It's like parallels, but that works,
Sure. I mean, that's one of the things that we have a lot of experience with. I mean, we've been teaching English to students from all over the world for a very long time. So it's been, more than 20,000 students we have received over these years.
20,000 students.
I haven't counted them all, but it's more than that.
Yes.
Roughly around about that number. So, and every student's different. They have a different background, they have a different language ability, expectations, efforts. So every student's different. Budget, although you can be poor and still study hard, that's okay. But if you don't have the attitude to study, then that's a big difference. So if you want to study, if you don't want to speak your own language, if you only want to speak English, if you want to make more friends with people from other countries or New Zealand people, if you want to study more, if you want to go to class every day, not sleep in the morning, skip classes. So that kind of attitude is very important. But what we do here at Worldwide School is we provide everything that a student will need to improve their English. From the basics.
We have a library.
We have a library, self-study area. We have
a social activities.
A lot of social activities, absolutely. So they can not go home and watch Spanish, soap opera on TV, on their computer, Netflix, that kind of thing. So they have something to do after school. So we do these free after school activities every day with the teacher.
What?
Well, so we do every Monday after school. We do Monday soccer, Monday football. It's a strange game, I know. It's kind of a round ball. And,
I think Latin American people will not understand about soccer, so we can skip it. But
sure,
just tell those who understand.
That round ball, the round ball game. You just kick it. You don't pick it up and run. It's kind of strange, but we understand that some students do come from countries that like this strange game. So we do that.
So you respect.
We're very kind. Yes, we're very kind. But we do teach them on the Tuesday after school rugby. For those poor students who've never had the experience of trying rugby, we teach them that.
Girls and boys.
Girls and boys, of course. So what we do is on the Tuesday after school activity, we do the touch rugby, not the tackle rugby. Because, no hugs, no tackle. Well, they can hug each other. It's, we're friendly. But so it's touch rugby, not tackle rugby. Because the boys and the girls are playing together. And as we know, the girls are going to kill the boys. So it's just touch rugby. Then Wednesday after school, we do a pub night. So
you're finishing the week on Wednesday, basically?
No. Well, some students might be a little bit late on Thursday, but that's their problem. No, Wednesday night is pub night, so students and teachers go to a pub again... So
today we go to the pub then?
Yes, that's right. So if you're in Auckland today, we're going to Providore pub tonight. So a teacher goes along there. So Michael, one of our great teachers, will be going tonight. Good chance for students again to make new
friends,
practice their English, and drink a little bit of orange juice, water. Sure, of course, yes.
Iced water, I guess.
Yes. Although New Zealand is famous for wine and nice beer, so you could try a little bit of that just to see.
If you are over 18, of course.
Yes, the drinking age in New Zealand is 18, but at Worldwide School we're an 18 plus school, so usually that's fine for our students.
That's right.
Thursday we run a free yoga class after school. One of our teachers is a qualified yoga instructor, so she runs a free yoga class every Thursday after school, and Friday we have options, different things that students can do. So every day after school we've got extra activity programs. We provide lots of opportunities for students
to practice English.
Practice their English. Obviously, we've got highly qualified, experienced, native speaker level teachers at Worldwide School.
So how much time would I need to start to speak if I don't speak?
If you are coming as a beginner, now usually a beginner means what we call a false beginner. It means they have had some English in their life. They might have studied a little bit at school, they might have watched a little bit of movies or TV with English and subtitles, something like that. So most students at the lowest level is what we call a false beginner, which means they have that little bit of English background, which means they quite quickly progress from a false beginner to an elementary level. And that can take a matter of just a couple of weeks. Because when you are here, it's what we call total immersion, full immersion. You are surrounded by English. When you catch the bus, you speak English. When you go to the shop, you speak English. At break time, you should speak English. In the classroom, you're speaking English. When you sleep at night, you're dreaming in English. So 24 hours English every day. So sounds tiring, but it's not. It's not, because classes are fun, they're interesting, you're meeting people from different places, having different experiences, but you're always getting English. So from that point of view, your English improves very quickly. Not like you're in your home country and you go to an English lesson maybe once or twice a week, and then the rest of the time you're speaking Spanish or Russian or French or Japanese. You're only got English. So you do progress very, very quickly. So you could say a typical student from Latin America, for example, who might come at a lower level, after 6 months will be quite a high level. If they've studied hard, studying every day, joining the activities, making friends. A lot of our Latin American students are getting part-time jobs, so when they're working at their part-time job, they're also doing English at that time as well.
So in 6 months you are going to intermediate,
upper intermediate, sometimes even advanced.
Oh,
does
that's
depend.
very big.
Like I said, every student is different.
Yeah, of course.
But if your attitude,
if you're focused on your studies, and perfect.
Yes.
Interesting. You mentioned another very important thing is that here in New Zealand the students can work part-time.
Yes, that's
how
correct.
does that work, and how probably you do help with this, or how's the process?
So in the world there are just a few countries that an English language student can work part-time during their studies. Australia is one, New Zealand is one, and the other one is Ireland.
Oh, okay.
Now, Ireland, as I understand it, not a lot of jobs. It's quite difficult to find a job in Ireland. I'm sorry if you're from Ireland and I'm wrong, but it's what I was told.
And especially probably if you don't speak English well. Probably if you already speak English